look. 18 degrees, 17, 18. Not bad that, because it was 10 degrees, so it's gone up 8 degrees in space like 5 minutes. That is a good buy, I must admit. Oh, good job I had safety after all this rattling around on bloody lens. But next step now is getting the panel off here now. Well, I'm going to take it off up to about here. Just fucking access underneath here. This is where the diesel leader is going to go on here. So it's same again, just take these bolts out and then we'll drop this out. It's always good to have a good tooth, you know, you can have bands when you can have a look to see about anything's untoward out. Found a dicky tyre as well. One of my back tyres has got the, on the inside it looks like it's been rubbing on something, right, and it's down to the braiding, so probably a blessing in disguise doing this actually. There's also a piece of rubber there for some reason. So this will go on here, which will house the heater, and then you've got some pre-holes done on either side of this. Now I've seen a few videos where this actually slots into there, but for some reason mine doesn't. So I'm not using that. I'm just going to use a sport and then put that on there. So for these holes here, I'm going to use these Rivnuts. So I'll drill that out. These are a M8 Rivnut. So for an M8 I'm going to use an 11mm drill. Drill it all out a bit more, and then I can get these in. Fit these in, and then I can connect the plate up to that. So let's get on with that. Right, so these Rivnuts, right, because I've not got a spanner for these, I've seen a few tips and that. What I've done is I've just stuck a couple of loose nuts on there between two washers, and then just screwed up the Rivnut on here. Right, so you get your Rivnut on your nuts here, and then put it in, and then get your spanner on. And it should, in theory, lock into place. You'll feel it tight, that's it. If not in. Just check that there. That should be tight in place, that. If it's flush. Right, so we just mounted this bracket now and offered the heater up to it, and just realised these holes are too far forward. So I either redo these holes again, move the plate back, but doing that reduces the gap here between here. So I think that might be quite tight. I'll have to have a look at that. Or use this as a template and then put the holes, do another 2 set of holes on this side on that one. But that's just pissed me off, that man. What a nightmare. Right, so first nightmare I've just ran into now with fitting this diesel leader under the seat. Ordered this off eBay, diesel heater for underslung under the vans. Now everything looked right when I got it, thought yeah, spot on. Mounted all the plates but everything. Come to fit the heater, schoolboy error, should have matched up the heater first to it and I would have picked up on it straight away. But if you look where the holes are there, try and get a good angle on this one there. The way the heater's mounted should be that this way, sort of front there, rear there, coming out. So that's going to be the air intake from the cab, and then this section here will be what blows the hot air into the cab. And as you can see on this bit, the fuel pipe here on this one, right, if you look at the actual video of the plate, the fuel pipe's on the wrong side on the actual plate, and there's no other way of mounting this plate. So when I was under the van, I was trying to get on, thinking, oh, for God's sake. And what I also noticed was the holes are too far forward as well on it. So the actual piece should be like that. So basically that just goes over the holes and comes on it. And they're just totally different. So I don't know if you can see that there, if it picks up on camera. But it's just wrong. So what I'm going to do is, now I know that the orientation of this bracket's got to be this way. So if I just mark on here what it is, so I know. So front, rear. If I've got enough meat on this other plate, because I spoke to the guy about it, like, and he said, "Oh, send it back for a refund." But to be honest with you, the van's in bits at the minute now, and I'm just not got time to be waiting for parcels. I'm still waiting for another one to come now, which is holding me up. But anyway, that's another story. So what I'm going to do is this one, I think I'm going to see how much meat I've got on this plate, and then push the holes. Oh, get in view again. Push the holes back. So I'm going to re-drill all these holes, and then I'll probably powder coat or spray paint this bracket so it's tidier then. Plus I don't want it rusting as well. Yeah, there's plenty of room on that. So I've got quite a bit of meat here, and I don't know what this hole's here for, but we don't need it anyway. And then he says I don't need it. We'll find out in a bit if I do. And then I'll just cut these pieces out here. So I'll mark this up now. Roughly the same thing. Might just drop it lower, because if you noticed on the video as well, there's a little tiny it's like a little grommet under the footwell which sticks out quite a bit, and when I first mounted it, it touched. So I think we've got enough, yeah, got plenty of room on that. But drop that down. Right, so that step just been cut out now. As you can see, I've gone quite low with that because where the plastic is, the actual frame or metalwork is slightly lower on there. And all I've done with that is just cut it out with a 79mm hole saw through that one. Just got to be careful really when you do it and check both sides. If you look underneath, you'll see it's quite close at the top on that one, and also you can't go as far over either, so it's going to be a quite tight bend on that one. That is where the air inlet's going to go in, or should I say cab, which goes into the diesel unit. As you can see now, this is mounted up, fitted finally. What a pain in the ass that was. Everything's all locked up now, so what I'm going to do is going to get the tubing on here. So that what I've done with this as well, I don't know if you can see, so we can get a better angle on it. I've actually just ran a bead of silicone all the way down this seal bit here. If you need to take it off, it'll just peel off, but it just keeps any water ingress out and stuff on that. You know, with it being Underslung, there is a plastic cover that goes over here, but it's just better really. Make sure that. And then the next section on the arse end here, I'm thinking, do I go up through the B pillar and then try and angle that through there if it'll fit, or do I go past it onto this section here, in here, and see, because I'm not too sure if that comes out where the end of my unit is, and I have got a bit of a space there to put an inlet in, so I'm going to have to look at that, see if that'll fit up there. So, but next one now, we'll just get this piped up, get it all sealed up, and then see how we go. Right, so that one's in now. What I've done is I've Sikaflex round it. I've done the inside as well, just so it sticks to the actual plastic covering that's on the bottom, and also seals this bit here, so I don't want any gaps around it. So that's all gone through. So while I let that set, I'm not going to disturb it now. I'm going to measure this section now, and see where we can go from this one. See if we can get this next pipe in. Right, it's going to. Right, as you can see now, I've just drilled through. This is the point where I come through. I've done between two spot welds here. So spot weld there, spot weld here. And you see my pinky? Spot weld here. So I've just took this little piece out here, which I'm going to clean out. There you go, perfect. So that is where my vent is going to go through. If you look where the heater is, so there's my heater. I'll mount it up in that. See the cable on top there, so I'll mount that one. So that duction is going to come out here, past the B pillar section and through the floor, and that goes in between the back of my seat and the my units. The only other possible option was send it back round here, but it meant going through all my cupboards and that, so I didn't bother. Right, next day on this one. Turned into a bit of a mission, this job, I tell you. Last night, managed to get the vent in there into the footwell. It's got some shite to clean up in here, like. So that's been put in. And then underneath, have a quick toot. So, fed some wiring through last night. Got the diesel heater installed, as you can see. I'll tell you what, I don't stream in here. And then what I managed to do is, as the vent at the back there, where it goes through the footstep, through and sealed. Hopefully that's all held. I'll put some more on that before I do it. Connect it all up. And then I drilled through the floor last night into the van. And then mounted that top vent there. So this is basically going to go from here into that. So I've got to mount the fuel pump, probably down here somewhere, and then exhaust pipe, and then air intake on this one as well, and then sort all this wiring out. See where wire's gone through. There's a little grommet at the top here. I split the grommet last time, put the wires through it, the plugs and that, and then remounted that back on. So today's job. Sweet. Test it now, see if it works. Right, let's test this now. Fuse, just put fuse in now. There's monitor, come on. We've got power to that anyway, that's a bonus. And I think on this, right, you've got to push OK and power, that's it. So OK in the bottom one there, and then you come to this, it's like a purge. Oh, and then switch it on. You can hear the pump now. And that then just pumps the fuel through. Oh my god, I can hear that in here. I'll have to play about with that, see what that's clicking onto. So that should draw some fuel through into thinking now, and we're going to see underneath what the script is. Right, so that's just finished priming now. I don't know if it's just gone off because of me mulling about with it or what, but turn the power on. So got a glow plug on, fans on, earth mount, in, exhauster, temp. Not sure what temp this is set to yet. I've no fucking clue what that is. So it's 9 degrees in here. I think we're gonna have to look at the instructions on that, Jonesy lad, because I haven't got a clue how you change that. So what I'll do when I suss this out, I'll read my Chinese, see what the script is with that, and I'll see the heater kicks in back in a minute. Yeah, so for this one now, I've sussed out how to get the temperature going up and down on that. So basically you hold the top arrow and then your settings button on the left hand side here, and that then changes it from that P mode. I think that's how much oil goes into it, so we're not messing about with that. And then this does your temperature. So it says it's 25 now. So let's set temp up and down. Just so 25 degrees, 26. Let's see if we can belt some heat in here now. Right, so I'll set its temp now. I want 28 degrees in here now. Let's see if we can get it cooking. We'll come back when it's ready, see what it's like. Well, absolute sauce in here, absolute bob on mod that. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a chew doing that, an absolute chew. I had a couple of issues with it. First issue was the fuel standpipe. I'm totally wrong. I mean, how the hell was you supposed to get that on your fuel sender? Honestly. And I made the mistake, I didn't check it proper, just thought, oh yeah, cool, standpipe in it, get it done, you don't need one. So luckily I managed to get one on the day when I did that. Then I was waiting for my fuel line to turn up. There was a delay on that should have been last week, the other day that, and it never turned up. So I've had the tank out, so I've just put it on with other jobs. Luckily it turned up today, so I've managed to get the fuel line in. It's not a big job that doing the fuel line, because everything had been done, the tank had been drilled and everything, so it was like straight in, straight out. So I piped that in, threw it over. Burning me arm that now, bit red hot. Oh, I'm gonna love this. Heat at last. Yeah, and forgot what I was talking about then. Yeah, I was cooking. Yeah, so I just plumbed in the fuel pump and all that stuff, and doing a bit of cable management. Got all the cab for it do now, like sort behind cupboard out, sort of rent my battery out and that, but it's a 10-minute job that, clean that up. But I'll tell you what, absolutely brilliant that. I can't believe it's only showing 18 degrees in here now, and it's roasting, absolutely roasting. So if you think about installing one of these, it's not a bad job. Well, going back to the install side of it, drilling the pipes, you know, for the inlet and outlet, because I've got one on my doorstep, which I showed you before, and I've got the one which is behind my seat. The one behind my seat was probably the biggest pain, because I didn't want it coming through my units, because I've not got much room in my units, you know, for pulling it up. Yeah, so I've had it come up between my units and back of my seat, so I think I'll see how it goes. It's not a bad place. As long as it heats the cab up, it bounces off the back of the seats, then I'm happy with that. But I just can't believe how much heat that's going out. But apart from that, it weren't a bad install really. It just took its time consuming, because I didn't have the materials that I needed, bits and bats and that. And typical Chinese style, like IKEA, got a box full of bits which are not even used. So God knows what they're for. So that's it for this video anyway. Chinese diesel heater, fitted, spot on. If you like this sort of content and stuff like that, just give us a thumbs up and that, you know, it helps the channel and stuff. If you want to just subscribe as well, you know, I mean, I've got tons of views, loads of people viewing all the time, but there's just, the channel must be crap. Not the content must be shy. But anyway, thanks for watching anyway, and see you on the next one. Later.